Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid hot.
Fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm. Because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
What up, though, people? Hey. Come on, man. It's Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the WUW Crew. You see the shades, so you already know. That means it's another victory show.
They don't stop.
And they got another game tonight, so if they win, that would mean the first time in WUW history, and maybe Woodward sports history, maybe Detroit sports history, that there would be a victory show every day of the week. Think about that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
We've
victory
never
show.
had that.
Then a Friday. Beat the Warriors. Hey, you know what? I'm going to be out there a little early tonight. If you're going to be there, let me know. Getting content. We do have a family that we are enriching, and I'm glad, man. We're going to take them down by the court, get some pictures for them, and let them have a pretty cool experience. So it's cool, man. We're able to use a platform for that. But it's your boy, Brandon Dent, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter and writer for the network. KG, man, proud of you, man. Proud
Thank
of you.
you, man.
Filling in for our brother. We love you, Flannel Sam Reynolds.
Yeah,
hey,
salute.
We can't wait to have you back, brother. We cannot wait. KG, Detroit's #1 draft pick. Already got the Rookie of the Year. You're going for WUW Sports MVP, man. And these Pistons. What
It's
up,
a tough road, man. The tough road. But shout out to the Pistons, bro. They keep it coming, bro. And they got a win last night, a win that they were supposed to get. You had the Brooklyn Nets. They were coming in 8 deep, dealing with a lot of injuries. You got to go win that game. And they went and did that in spades last night. Mm-hmm. Shout out to the boys getting the job done. We're going to break it down.
We're going to break it down. I want to just tell you guys a little bit of what we're going to talk about today on the show, because I'm fired up, bro, because the vibes are immaculate. And we got to break it down more. So after we talk about the Detroit Pistons winning their 5th game in a row, undefeated in the new year, 8 of 9.
Never lost.
And now they are tied for the 7th seed in the East. If this was the old times, we would just say, hey, they're in playoff spots. In today's times, we have to say play in postseason positioning. But if they are just one game outside of a top 6 playoff spot.
And can we just take a moment and just look at the win-loss record? They are over 500. Don't that just look good? 19-18. I understand the job's not done, but when the last time we saw a win column for the Pistons?
It's been a long time. The only times Cade has seen this in his career were within 4 games. Yeah. Anything over 5 games, they've never been over 500.
Imagine your season being over after 5 games.
Think about that, man. I no longer have to sit here and talk about that once illustrious stretch during Cade's rookie season with Jeremy Grant post All-Star break. I know it like the back of my hand, 10 and 14 in games that Jeremy Grant, Sadiq Bey, I'm telling you, those guys. It's a new day. Oh my God.
Y'all got Kool-Aid hot.
Rob was like, man, I just hope one day you get to cover a team that's over 500. You know what? For right now, we in there, man.
Damn
it's
right.
a new day.
Shout out.
I'm going to tell you guys what we're going to talk about today, and then we're going to get the rest of the cast and crew involved as well. But man, oh man, the vibes are immaculate. We're going to talk about that, just where the city is right now. We're going to hear about from DJ Reader on the city of Detroit as well.
Shout out.
I love that. And then we're going to get into, no matter the hate, the dismissal, the ignorance, the Detroit Lions are the standard. We heard a lot of hate kind of and dismissiveness right after they won, literally on our field. Florio, the post-game crew for the main broadcast, like right on Ford Field, just dismissing us all across the board. But there was one right after the season ended who actually was like, you know what? I think the Lions are the standard, and we're going to talk about it today. And then we got to talk about that pressure. The Lions' defensive line brought pressure.
They did.
10 quarterback hits, 2 sacks. You probably want to see a little bit more, but Sam Darnold was clearly uncomfortable. Is it here to stay? And then how worried should we be about the Lions' future and keeping everything on track if AG, Ben Johnson, and now Chris Spielman decide to take rightfully the next
tough
step up in their
losses.
careers. But look, we're going to talk about it. Shout out to, once again, our brother Flannel Sam, that dude Justin, Matthew Broder. In the sound booth, though, we got GOAT Jr. over here, young Cavassier Chase GPT. What up, though, brother?
Hey, what up, man? Pistons are looking good, man. They're going from crawling to walking, it seems like. You got to crawl before you walk before you run. And, we've been crawling for sure the last few years, but we're starting to walk a little bit. We got
Barely
that waddle
crawling,
going.
just dragging our lower self.
So it's looking good. I mean, we haven't lost in 2025. Doesn't matter what sport, doesn't matter what team. So, I mean, Detroit's feing good right now, man.
Hey, right. Even we've had nothing but victory shows in the new year.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely crazy.
Not used to this.
WUW Sports MVP in the TD booth. That is JB Smooth. Hey, Mr. GOAT Senior.
Big breath.
What up, though?
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Hey.
Shout out to the Pistons, man. And also shout out to Dante151 for sending in his super chat
Already?
as well, too. Yeah,
Damn,
1999.
Dante, damn.
Just think a year ago, the Pistons had a 3-33 record, and now they're a game over 500. Also, I hope everyone in Cali are safe and far away from the fires. Also, the Rams and Vikings could play in Arizona because of this fire as well, too. But shout out to you once again, Dante151. Shout out to the Pistons, too.
Shout out to the Pistons, man. It's been an awesome time, and we got to get into it. Right before that, though, somebody who actually started at this network when kind of at the ground level, Christian Alexander, they call him DJ Choff. It is his birthday. I just wanted to say happy birthday to you. You guys know he does have music in the system. He used to help out with socials in the beginning for not just here, but also Lady Jane's. And now, as his career just kind of taken off, want to just make sure that we said, what up, though, to you, brother.
Yeah.
It was awesome to see him also at a Sticks wedding and everything.
Yeah, I got to meet this guy. I hear a lot of good things about him.
Great human being. He calls himself the smile enthusiast.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a dope DJ, man. Just dope vibes all around. And so just wanted to tell him happy birthday to you, young king. And now we got to get into these Detroit Pistons and break this thing down, because you know what's been most impressive about this undefeated streak in the new year, KG?
What?
That look at the 5 games. In 3 of those games, they've held their opponent to under 100 points. In today's modern NBA, I don't care what people say about, what rosters are out there or if certain teams have been hobbled. I know what it looked like last year. And this year, this team is doing something that we said we want to see them do all season. Handle business.
Yep.
You are better than the dredges of the East. When I was first saying 28 to 30 wins, it was for a progressional purpose. And then when we went to, are they better than 5 teams? It was like, yeah. So it was like, this team needs to go in there and make the play-in. And instantly, after the 0-4 start, we could see it. This team is different than last year, even though they didn't have the wins. Now they're stacking the wins together, and it's awesome. And just another thing, I got to say this. Jalen Duren, I know he's heard the criticism.
Yeah.
And it's not just hearing it. It's the way that he's just worked and responded.
Yes.
You haven't seen any of the frustration. It's just out of nowhere. He's just doing work. Last night, man, the bigs, they did their thing. Jalen Duren, 2 blocks and 2 steals. Stewart, 4 blocks and 2 steals. And the Pistons as a team, 9 blocks and 9 steals.
Yeah, they
Y'all
was on
know I love me some stocks, man.
Yeah.
And these Pistons, they ran it up. And I cannot understate this, man. I cannot understate this. They're still doing this shorthanded without Ivy and without probably their best individual defender in Asar Thompson.
No, absolutely, man. And you got to give it up to them last night. Not only did they hold them to under 100 points, but you look at their field goal percentage. You held them to 38.6 from the field, man. And also you had a great shooting night. 40% from 3, 52% from the field. And it was kind of like K took the night off almost. And they still was able to go out there and get the dub. Now, this is definitely no slight to K. Only 13 points. Had a quieter night than we accustomed to, but you got to find Tekio sighting. I mean, 17 points from him. Where has that been? Marcus Sasser, he shows up with 15 points. So these are the type of performances that you need.
Got some Bobby Clinton run.
Yeah, we did. I'm looking forward to see him more as he gets more court time, get more adjusted, and just see how he flows into this team. But overall, man, and Malik Beasley, listen, I'm going to keep pounding the table for this. Sign Malik Beasley. Extend him. Because, what he's done for this Pistons team so far, absolutely amazing. Whether he's been asked to come off the bench, whether he's been asked to start, whenever his game is on, this Pistons team most likely gets the W, man. And it's a lot of it has to do with him. Shout out Malik Beasley.
A lot of it has to do with him, and it's the swag, it's the culture, it's being on these winning teams, and also it's about wanting to be here. I'm never going to underestimate that. He wants to be here. He wants to win for here. And seeing everything that he's done, just not just from like, yo, I'm going to be a spot-up shooter. No. Malik Beasley, if you go back and rewind the tapes, was one of those guys who was first to dive on the floor.
Yeah.
He was one of those guys that I'm going out of bounds for everything. He was one of those guys that was actually trying to go and you notice like on sometimes it's a fast break and you know you're not going to get there, so you just see them pull up. I saw him running out the play, which was something that my high school coach used to always talk about. I don't care if you can't get the block or whatever, run out the play. You never know what will happen. And sometimes people hear footsteps and mistakes happen. And there was a play that was similar to that where he was able to run out the play, and instead of the person being able to complete, he wound up having to pass back, and the team had to go into a half-court defense. It's like just seeing Malik Beasley from that type of perspective and setting the tone as a veteran, all of your other young players, they have to step up and do it too.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest difference. You got these vets now whose best really ability is availability. They're not the ones like, you know, we saw Bojan, we saw Alec Burks, and a lot of who they were. We understand the pedigree of player they were, but the injuries and who they were, it just got the better of them, and they weren't able to perform at the level we needed. They weren't reliable. You got Beasley, even Tobias Harris. I know it looks more pedestrian, but 9 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds.
At least his last few games.
1 of 3, 4 of 9 from the
You can
field.
justify it.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You look across this thing, and where you needed players in your bench to really pick this team up, they did that. And this Pistons team, it's like Rod said, they're just a playoff team. They are for real. Cade Cunningham is an all-star. Guys, there's not going to be one Pistons segment that we talk about where we don't say this. Cade Cunningham is an all-star.
Book it.
Detroit, go out there and make sure that Cade is an all-star. And once again, Detroit Pistons, Golden State Warriors tonight at LCA. Hey, fans, get down there. Pack this thing out. All eyes, man, are going to kind of be on this game. The Detroit Pistons are becoming, realistically, the best watch in all of the NBA. And I say that because they're functioning at a level right now where everything is positive. The only team, uniquely, that has cap space as we approach the deadline. Think about that. They don't have the turmoil. We talk about the fact people say, oh, man, the Pistons are only winning because the East is trash right now. Well, there's so much turmoil. I'm sorry. We were in turmoil last year. Nobody cried for us. Now that we're doing things the right way, you want to be able to penalize us for that. That's not how this works. Instead, we're 7th place in the East right now. Instead, we're 1 game outside of 6. That's what's speaking to me right now, because they're doing things right. From every little tiny deal to even Tom Gores. He's now in CTC mode. Cut the check.
Yep.
And I'm out of there. And you know what? When they're winning and when it's hype and he's sitting at half court and he's throwing those T-shirts, I'm going to be applauding him.
Yes,
Why?
sir.
Because he's earned that right. Both as an owner, but also the competitive and the prideful component of it, of knowing you have now been able to turn the Rubik's Cube to find the right combination. And that's what we see with the Pistons right now across the board. JB Bickerstaff, everything is coming up 7-7-7s right now.
Yep.
And that's what I mean. From the books to the front office, to the moves and the personnel decisions, to even the rooks. How they're managing injuries. Everything is coming up wins right now, and the Detroit Pistons record is reflecting that.
No, absolutely. And you spoke to Tom Gores, and I always bring this up. He actually took responsibility for the errors that he made in the past, and I think that's been the biggest difference with this Pistons team. When he went to the podium and said he wanted a more CEO-like approach to how they run the front office, at first I'm kind of like weary of that, because I'm like, okay, we need basketball minds in here. We need people that know what they're doing to actually grow this product back into what it should be. But we trusted him. He went and got Trajan. Trajan has made all the right moves so far. You got to give him credit. And I understand that Troy Weaver kind of cleaned up the books during his tenure. But Trajan has been able to manage that so far. And I think it will result in some good contracts and moves down the line. But JB Bickerstaff, man, he's come in. He wants to be here. I think that's the biggest key component of it all. But he's brought a defensive nature to this team that they were badly missing. He's brought floor spacing back, and he is elevating your younger talent into what we thought they would be. Jaden Ivey, before he got hurt, he was balling. Cade's taking that next step. Asar Thompson. I see Weezy D313 in here. Isaiah Stewart. I don't hate Beef Stew, bro. The only thing I've ever really said, I guess to the contrary of Beef Stew, is that he's undersized, which is the truth. But this year, he's absolutely playing above that. You said it, 4 blocks, 2 steals. He's a menace down there, man. And now you're starting to get the improvement from Jalen Duren, and some of your vets, and you got vets that can actually play. And no offense to Bogey, he could play, but he's old. He's not necessarily, he's not a leader. You went and got younger vets that actually fit the mold of this team, and it's benefiting, man. You see it on the court each and every night.
But it's the mold of the city, and that's why when JB Bickerstaff said, "Oh, it's gonna be grit, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that," I didn't scoff at him when he started using those terms. Like if it was somebody else, like if it was this Monty Williams, like got another year and said that, I would have been like,
Right.
But with him, I was like, you know what? Let's see what this is going to be about. And you're right. The hierarchical structure that Tom Gora said he wanted to mold it after really business structure, and that's where a Trajan Langdon, really being a guy who is prevalent and in the mix on the business side of things, I think that it helps to balance out the best parts of who Arn Tellem is as like the really kind of like the chairman of the Pistons.
Yeah.
So right now, good vibes for them. I know we took a few extra minutes to talk about the Detroit Pistons, and we got to get more into the immaculate vibes of Detroit sports city right now. In my opinion, it is the best sports city in America, but you know what makes it even better? What? Cashing in on those championship type expectations. And when you have the foundation, that little bit of a sprout like the Detroit Pistons do right now, you got to make sure that you take this thing all the way,
yes, sir,
full blown. So shout out to the Detroit Pistons again. Shout out to Simone Fontecchio.
Finally,
well.
Where he been
just
at?
Finally. So it's all good vibes, man.
No,
Wanna see y'all down
absolutely,
at LCS.
absolutely.
So, hey, I'm gonna tell you guys about second best. All right, you guys got to get down to second best. 42 Watson Street. Why? It is the ultimate fan experience for your Detroit Lions home games. And guess what? I'm gonna call it. We got two. I know the schedule says we only got one guaranteed home game, but we already know what's going to happen in that first one. We got two of them. So we want you guys to show up for the ultimate fan experience, enjoy a little smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching a Woodward Sports pregame show. Only at second best. Come get some.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or Bust Lions network.
I got to tell you about that Tangerine Space Machine, brewed by New Holland Brewing Company, straight out of Holland, Michigan. So you know you can always support locally. It's smooth, it's juicy with refreshing crushability. Take your taste buds to the moon with this intergalactic haze of goodness. You try to throw me off there. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Not going to do it. But this is the official beer of outer space. So you know it's on tap on the moon for you. So you know you got to go out and grab yourself a case of it today. Enjoy it this weekend while you can. It's the New Holland Brewing Company intergalactic haze of goodness, that Tangerine Space Machine.
That good stuff.
You know, when you and I spoke in the offseason and you signed with the Lions, it was obvious you were pumped. You were pumped to be joining that franchise. Has it been everything you thought it would be, or maybe even better?
Man, it's been even better. I guess it's everything I could ask for, from the coaching staff to the facility to just the support staff and everybody around. I think that's really the coolest part about the place is that everybody's got one track mind to go win, and it seems important to them, and nobody's faking it. Everybody's out there working every day.
It ain't no fakers around here, man.
You love to hear
it. Ain't no fakers around here. What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Appreciate you guys, chat family, for choosing to kick off the day with the WUW Crew. Go ahead and smash that like button.
Smash that.
Let's run up these likes because the vibes are immaculate. Another victory show because those Detroit Pistons just won their 5th in a row. Detroit sports teams are undefeated in the new year, and you just hear it there. These are guys that are coming from the outside newly, like Zadarius Smith, who talked just openly and brazenly about Detroit, and we saw he went out there and he beat us to this. This is one thing that we do very well. We will go and prop up a player faster than I don't know what, right? But he went and got the Honolulu Blue Buffs and the shirts and all of this stuff before we could even be like, we didn't even get the chance to build the proverbial statue that we know we do for players like that. And we saw him talk about everything that this organization stands for that he's come to know in just a short time. And then to hear another person like DJ Reader go on, courtesy of Jim Rohn's show, go on his show and talk about, oh yeah, I was pumped in. I'm still pumped after a full season. And it's not just the wins, but how this organization does things. And I do believe that it helps when the whole city is vibing the way that we see it vibing right now. Stick said something yesterday that we also said in the WU just before this. It's everything is on point right now. Yeah. The whole city is winning.
But why is that? Because the Lions, in particular, they are very selective as to who they let in this building. And, culture was a big thing, and we always talk about, it's overused and stuff like that. Oh, if you win, that builds culture. Well, no, not necessarily. You got to start at the ground floor, and that's what the Lions did in being selective in who they brought in here to be a player for this team. And DJ Reader, man, and shout out to the Bengals, man. I thank God that y'all gave him to us pretty much for free because they defense fell off hard after DJ Reader left. And shout out Weezy D313 in the chat. He said his durability and him being as advertised is huge, man. He loves DJ Reader. And I got to agree, man. Everything that we were told about this guy, even though we don't hear his name every week, he's went out there and done, man. He's somebody that is a stalwart in the middle. He eats up double teams. He opens up things for everybody else on the defensive line. And he's come in and he's put his head down and he's worked, man, ever since he's been allowed to be on the field and healthy. He's came in and he's absolutely worked, and you got to give him credit. But this is what the Lions are building going forward. Any free agent that comes in here is going to have to take on that Detroit Lions mold. You have to fall in line or you're not going to be a Detroit Lion, like straight up.
Hey, it's the Lions way, and we're going to continue to kind of get into this and break this thing down because especially in this next segment ahead. But the reason why I wanted to really highlight what DJ Reader was saying is because I think that right now it's the microcosm of what all of Detroit sports is, what the city actually is right now. It's a beautiful time in downtown Detroit. It's a beautiful time when I go and I visit my fam and my friends that are still in Detroit. It's a beautiful time when I'm just kind of cruising up and down Woodward in the burbs. Go to Belle Isle. It's just a beautiful time everywhere. And when you're able to go to the arenas and every single night, now your team has an opportunity to win. We can't forget about the Red Wings. We can't forget about what the Detroit Tigers just did. Yeah. And it emblemizes everything that we generally associate from a marketing standpoint with our teams. Well, no, now we see them walking the walk. And that's what was so instrumental about Dan Campbell in the beginning of this thing, setting the tone for that Lions rebuild in terms of it being gritty and all the stuff he talked about, because then we hear all the other teams kind of use some of that same type of analogy. Yeah. And so it's cool to see that the Detroit Lions of all teams, the Detroit Lions, who were down bad for so many years, they represented what it was to not be nice and kind and a good organization to your fans. Now all of a sudden this franchise is leading effectively the renaissance, not just for Detroit sports, but other teams as well.
Yeah, and I've talked about how it's so hard to get a lot of people on the same page. You look at WUW Sports here, we all have to be working on one accord in order for this shit to work. Like, it's not easy to do, man. And this is just a smaller scale operation. Imagine running an NFL team team with 60+ players if you include the practice squad and coaching staff. Like, that is not easy to do, man. So the fact that in 3 years, they have really built this thing up to where they are one of the, if not the best franchise in terms of, player acquisition, in terms of how things are run, in terms of the play on the field in the NFL, man. And you think it's going to have a long window because you have a guy like Brad Holmes at the helm calling the shots, making all the right moves. And you have an owner like Sheila Ford Hamp that is in there and she's open, she's receptive. Whatever she doesn't know, she invests in people that do know. And I think that because of that, the Lions, they are on their way to being probably one of the most known teams of this modern era of football.
Yeah, and definitely. You know what, chat family, the question of the day is, the vibes are so immaculate, but during all of this, just in the chat, put down what have been some of your favorite moments. And you guys know me, I want more than just the highlight. I want to know what the moment meant to you all. That's what I want to know. Who you were with, where you were at, what was special about it. So talk to us. It doesn't matter the team, if it's the Lions. It doesn't matter if you want to send in one for all of the sports teams. It doesn't matter if you want to send in one from Tigers season. Just let us know what are the vibes. And you know what, Kavasi and Chase, I got to ask you, man, what's been either one or some of your favorite moments throughout this thing? Because for me, one of the things I loved was seeing people here. Like, I was clipping up the watch party for the Tigers run. It was awesome seeing like Pete, like he called it, like all that stuff. It was so epic, man. It was so epic. I mean,
Shout out
put the
Pete,
mic
bro.
on, Chase. Talk to me, man.
I'll start with the low light, I guess. I still had a fun time, bro. One of my favorite moments this season.
Chase, I don't think your mic's on.
All right, there we go.
Hey.
I'll start with a little bit of like a positive moment, but not the most positive. Like, it could have been better for sure. Down at second best, great spot. Love being down there for the pregame. If you're looking for a spot to go on the weekend or anytime downtown, check it out. I found some quarters in my pocket. I was hanging out with JB and Brady. We were playing Galaga and Miss Pac-Man, and then I just was rubbing 2 quarters together. I looked over at Neil. I was like, "Hey man, you want to play some bubble hockey?"
Oh,
And then you got destroyed.
Yeah, it was something else, bro. So I mean, that was a little, but positive moment because like I said, that was at second best with JB, with Brady, with Neil. Why? Because I suck at bubble hockey. That's why. And how Neil got me from the blue line, from the slot, from the point. That's how I got beat. But we'll go with a positive moment. Just anytime we're out at Hayes, man. My dad's came out to like 2 or 3 games out there. My roommate and his girlfriend just came out for the Sunday night game against the Vikings. So got to meet a bunch of cool people out there. Eric Dietrich from the chat.
Yeah.
His buddy Jason.
Shout out.
Other people who've popped out. Steve from Arizona, who's always calling in and stuff like that. I mean, it's an awesome time getting to meet fans. James came down to second best. James from the chat.
It's been an awesome time.
Anytime the fans are able to come out, interact with us, that's why we're doing these watch parties and these shows, these live events. So it's those are some of my favorite moments from this season, is getting to interact with all the other Detroit fans.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what? Weezy D threw on 3. He said that Bonds walk-off was insane. And I'm assuming he means Kerry Bonds.
Oh, yeah.
What a
Just
moment,
hit another
man.
run. Kerry Bonds.
Came back from injury and everything. Like, goodness gracious. And he was just on one. Carps? Kerry Carpenter. Fix Your Face says, my whole fam got to experience this. They witnessed going ashy to classy in terms of Detroit sports on the rise right now. It's immaculate vibes and JB Smooth. As the chat, I see that they're starting to get in some of their memories as well. Get in some of those memories, some of those moments for you while Detroit sports is on the rise. JB Smooth, what about you, brother?
Absolutely. Get in some of those memories as well, too. Shout out Burns in the chat for sending a super chat, $5 right here. He said, DJ mentioned the facilities, made me think of how the Bengals got an F for their facilities from the NFLPA as well, too. I've also set a super chat goal in there as well, too. If we get 10 super chats in, Kool-Aid will go out and find this missing hoop mixtape, and we will play it for the show.
You ain't gonna find that shit.
So get in those super chats.
That shit on the VHS somewhere in the basement.
Get in those super chats, but man, I don't think I can really truly pick one. But for me, if I have to pick something, it has to be just being able to go anywhere in this city and seeing everyone wearing like team merch, whether it's Tigers, whether it's Pistons, whether it's Lions. It's just walking around seeing and knowing that, all right, you're a fan. And it's not just when it comes to game days or when it comes to Sundays, just walking around seeing everyone happy to be wearing this logo on their chest. Like, it makes me feel proud, man. It makes me feel proud to see that all these teams have come up, from the dirt, and now we're back on top again. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Hey, and you know what? I see the chat family. Through and three Thug Ball says, Carlton Davis's INT in the end zone. It was the best moment of the year. It saved our number one bid. And talk to me about it, too, because I saw this one picture, I felt so bad. When Chase just shared his lowlights, and I just saw this video of this Vikings dad. I don't know why they had him in a Sam Darnold jersey and not a Justin Jefferson jersey.
Right.
Whatever. But he saw like the Lions basically putting the beat down, and he was just going through it, man. I felt so bad. But for us, we all had moments like me. I was able to sit and watch some Clemson North with my son. That was a pretty epic moment. And that type of stuff. Seeing like Michigan beat Alabama twice in the same calendar year. That type of stuff was pretty dope. KG, what about you, man?
I mean, I came in this thing, NFC Championship, a Michigan Natty. Like, it was amazing, man. But if I got to just point out, I got to point out the Tigers run, especially when they clinched that first series and won their first playoff series and God knows how long, man. That was absolutely amazing because it was out of nowhere. We just didn't expect it. And when they got in the playoffs, it was like, okay, they got in the playoffs. Let's see what they really going to do, though, because I still had questions as to whether they could actually compete in the playoffs, and they went in there and did work to Houston, man. You gotta give them credit for that.
Yeah.
That and I guess the Houston Texans game this year, being down 5 interceptions. Me and Justin was at the watch party. We ended up doing the second half, the call, man, and they ended up making the comeback. That was absolutely amazing, and that showed me that we shouldn't be scared of any team in this NFL. This Lions team is built to go against any and everybody.
Let me fire it up, man. And I'm seeing the chat family as well. It's cool to see, too, that they're on the same vibes. Chat family, I'm telling you guys, get the vibe chats into the vibe comments into the chat. But let me see here.
We got another super chat in too.
Hey, shout out.
I'm gonna read a couple. Read the super chat, and then I'm gonna read a couple of these.
Oh, definitely got you. Shout out to Jordan Lionheart, $5 super chat. Best moment is that radio silence from the Vikings fans after Sunday night. Where y'all at?
Talk about it.
Where y'all at?
Hey, I brought the mic. I tried to interview them the other day. Maybe we'll try again tomorrow, but. Jerry Alexander said it is very difficult to pick just one. Joshua McKenzie, Detroit Sports, 9-0 in 2025. Winning was a New Year's resolution. Win, 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 win. Eric Burrow, meeting almost everyone from Woodward Sports at the draft was another amazing experience.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to you, Eric Burrow. Shout out to everybody who
Always
met the draft
forget about
experience.
the draft.
Yeah, Chase was
that
there.
Was amazing.
From like a long time, bro. He was there, I remember at night. For real, the video that I still have of you and you were showing off the shirt, it was nighttime. It was an epic time. John F. and Lord, we got 99 problems, but Detroit sports ain't one. Josh Wright, the whole state of Michigan is on a different vibe. It's amazing. As a state, we know grit.
You damn right we do. And we one of the best fan bases across all sports in the entire nation. And I'm glad it's finally starting to be recognized, man. It's been a long time. So
Hey, and you know what, man? Hey, shout out to Weezy D313. He said Cade dropping 47 in his playoff debut. Whoops. Got ahead of myself. I'm right there with you, though. That, to me, man, just get there. They got a lot of business to handle and to take care of. And we talk about the immaculate vibes. Honestly, that's been one of the phrases that I've continued to use is handle your business. For the Pistons, Rod talked about it yesterday. They're beating the teams that they are supposed to beat now.
Yeah.
For the Lions and their expectations, I don't care about your logic. I don't care about who they're losing or who they've lost to injury. They've consistently said that they have Super Bowl expectations. That means that you have to go out there and handle your business.
Absolutely.
Part of that was getting that number one seed. That's what we see right now. The Tigers making a surprise playoff run. Handle your business. And now the Red Wings. As part of handling your business, you got to make a culture change. Todd Father, a little bit of Todd magic.
Kiss the ring.
And it's awesome. Just give me one of those Red Wing moments. I know we talked about some of these other ones. Give me one of those Red Wing moments for you so far. I guess it's got to be the Todd Father, huh?
Oh, dude, the moment, I mean, it's going to be the game against the Capitals when you actually got to see like what this team was going to look like after Todd McClellan got in the locker room, after he told them to play some effing hockey. You got to practice a little bit with the team. I mean, they came out 3 goals in the first period. I think they were up 3-1 on the Capitals early. They were crushing it, ripping and running. I mean, I felt like I felt like Lieutenant Dan when I had those titanium alloy legs walking into Forrest Gump's wedding. Like you saw last time you saw me, I was swimming away with no legs. Now I'm walking again, man. I'm gonna be running. These Red Wings got me feeling a whole new type of way. That first game against the Capitals, right after we fired Derek Lalonde, had to deal with the game against Toronto. He didn't have time to instill his offense, talk to the team or anything. So, but once he got in the locker room, once he got to address the team, that was the best moment of the season so far.
It could all be so simple, right? And I think back, I actually got a Red Wings moment, man. D-Mac night. Even though it was even though it was last season, man, but like
brothers in the nose.
I met you guys.
Hey, but they won though. They won.
Hey, we met Chase for the first time there.
That was the first time?
Yeah.
What a night.
You guys sat right in front of me.
Oh, man, dog, and we interviewed John Klaus.
Yes, we did. Rest in peace, man.
John.
But that was an amazing night. Just seeing D-Mac in his element, being the mayor of LCA, man, just greeting everybody, that was a long line, man. He literally got to every single person and had a conversation with them.
After they closed it off several times, he kept saying, open it up. Yeah.
And then the Wings get the win, and it was almost like foreshadowing. Like we could see that the Wings were on their way back. Now, unfortunately, they didn't make the playoffs, and a rough start to this season. But now they starting to get back on track, and I always think back to that night, man. We was recognized in the building too, man.
That was a fun time, man. All of the fan interactions were dope. People who just kind of see the logo and they're just kind of hanging out, and like we were over there like, yo, do we think that they want to be interviewed? Some of them people, man, when I talk to them later, like, yo, man, thank you guys for giving me the opportunity. You see them go and comment later, that type of stuff. I'm telling you, when you talk about moments, because our sports teams are winning, obviously it's going to create even more of this type of engagement. But what we have with the chat family, I'm telling you guys, and Chase is living proof of it, we absolutely love that stuff. We thrive on it, and now it's actually a part of, like it's always been, how we thrive. So, hey, we got a couple super chats in there, JB Smooth.
Oh, we do as well too. Shout out to Alan B 6415. He just wanted to just drop in the super chat as well too. We appreciate it. Shout out to Burns once again. Another $5 super chat. Tigers wild card chase was amazing.
It was.
It very was.
Let's go. That wild card chase was epic. Like I said, just kind of clipping the watch parties and such. Or getting the were you clipping? You were clipping some of it too, I believe.
When the Tigers watch party? Yeah.
I think I was just putting the templates together. So that was the battery.
Holy shit.
That was the battery.
Just thinking about that. All right, so the Tigers were 10.5 games back, right? And what did it take for the Tigers in order to close the gap? Not just them winning, but a collapse by who? The Minnesota Twins. Oh man, they had a epic collapse.
Minnesota's down bad.
They down bad, bro.
Oh, God
damn. Oh man!
And then the Timberwolves are stuck with the Pistons draft pick.
I know, right?
So when we make the playoffs, just get ready to pick at number 5.
We beat Minnesota twice this last weekend too. The Pistons beat the Timberwolves, and we beat the Vikings.
It's gonna be one of our.
Damn,
I know
that's
it's gonna be one of our.
That's tough.
Swisher bit questions. Pistons don't give 2 craps about that draft pick.
No, they don't.
They don't care
Not at all.
They're like,
fuck
what?
that.
Man, fuck them picks.
Get another one.
We got to talk about who started this though, because it's the Detroit Lions, man. They started all of the immaculate vibes that we see going on in the city. And right after they won the NFC North, we heard a whole bunch of people who wanted to just brush them aside, dismiss them. People getting into their end of the year awards. And the Lions are just really nowhere to be found as it relates to people's playoff picks. The Lions are really nowhere to be found. People do not believe that they're going to be able to measure up to who the Eagles are right now. Even though their quarterback, we still don't know if he's even going to play in their first playoff game. So we got to talk about this because there was, though, one person out there in media, and there's some others who see the vision, but this one in particular, he believes that the Detroit Lions are actually the standard. So
they should
you know what?
be.
Because they look at how Sheila Hampton's come in here and worked everything out. We're gonna talk about it, but tell everybody else where they can go and work out.
Hey, you can go work out at Planet Fitness, man, and it's a new year, so no excuses, man. Get in the gym right now. They still got the best deal in the gym game, period, end of story. 50 plus Metro Detroit locations, thousands around the state, the nation, and probably millions around the world, man. Planet Fitness is everywhere. You get that black card, go to any Planet Fitness you want. Bring somebody with you, man, for motivation. And go in there, get that body right for the new year. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Back-to-back NFC North Division champions. The Detroit Lions are playoff bound and ready to eat the kneecaps of anyone standing in our way. Follow Woodward Sports as we cover the best season in Detroit Lions history. Go Lions!
Talk about pressure, we live in pressure. That's where we freaking thrive. You did it again.
From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Say merch.
Merch.
Yo,
Talking about some merch.
Yeah, we were just talking about some merch. Head over to woodwardsports.com. Click on that shop tab. New designs are dropping every single week, as you see up here on the screen. You know we got the Grit Detroit football T-shirts, the 2024 NFC Championship shirts as well too. I'm looking at the site right now. We got an Aaron Glenn shirt up here right now. Sunday chilling. That's dope. You also got the Curb Stomp as well too. Dan Gamble Casino. Go over to woodwardsports.com. Click on the shop tab. New designs dropping every single week for you. Hey, you got to go and pick up some of this stuff. Fill up Ford Field with Woodward Sports.
And what up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Waco Woodward. Thank you guys for kicking off the day with the crew. And you know what? We're going to satisfy that like button. You know why? Because I told you guys before, we covered a lot of the hate and the dismissiveness, and we had to start sanitizing our ears, and it was satisfying.
Yeah.
And this is one of those types of segments as well, so it's only appropriate.
Hey,
Hit that like button, y'all. Y'all gotta treat it right. Treat it nice.
Hey, y'all know what time it is, man. It's time to satisfy that like button. So lay that boy real nice and real slow and just poke it a couple times. You know, not just the tip. You ain't got to put the whole thing in, but just tap that like button. We appreciate you.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. And JB, I just sent over some slides as well, just to make sure you got it in this one. I think I sent them to the wrong Slack earlier, but you should have them now. And you know what? Shout out to Sports Illustrated writer Alan. You know what? When you see it, I'm gonna have you tell me what you think his last name is. Okay. But shout out to Elaine. Elaine, yeah, because Dolphins writer covers the Dolphins for Sports Illustrated. But she said where the Dolphins and Detroit went in different directions. The Miami Dolphins will be going another year without playoff victory while watching the Detroit Lions rebuilding project continue to produce results. This is wild. What a time to be alive when the Detroit Lions at the end of a season are where other writers are going to say, hey, man, yo, at the end of the season, they could have thought about a whole bunch of other things, but they just thought about the Detroit Lions and the Lions way and how they're doing things. It is now the standard. And there's more here that I want to read about this, read from this article, just to be able to lay the groundwork for what we're going to talk about here today. Because we got to get into a little bit of Brad Holmes appreciation.
My dog.
Shout out to my bald brother in chief. I appreciate you. And guys, look, get that Brad Holmes appreciation into the chat. We'll definitely be reading the best ones, especially if it's super chat. But I'm going to read a little bit more here. It's pretty cool to listen to this. The Miami Dolphins major rebuilding project, regardless of when anyone wants to assign an official start date, officially might have to be considered a failure at this time, considering the 2024 season ended not only without a playoff spot, but without a winning record. It's particularly disappointing when we look at the overall NFL standings and we see they're at the top. The Detroit Lions, a team that began its own rebuilding project close to the same time as the Dolphins, but they have wildly been successful. Bro, that to me is just like to see that other people are actually paying attention, because it's a hard time to get people to look at anything.
Yeah.
Cade is putting up magical runs and people are still like, okay. Well, we'll give it something. But the Detroit Lions are not the team that you see others going out there and looking for. And in this article, they continue. This is pretty funny. The ways that they've done it. Yes, the Lions usually have had more picks in recent years, more draft picks than the Dolphins. But why? It's because Miami has been busy giving them away for big-name players. The Dolphins gave up 5 picks to get wide receiver Tyreek Hill, who may just be on his way out. Think about that, which is amazing. And then they go on to say this. While the Pro Bowl isn't the end-all, be-all in judging players, it's incredibly telling that the Lions have selected 8 different players since 2020 who have been selected to the Pro Bowl. And they go down the list of them, from guard Jonah Jackson to Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Aiden Hutchinson, Jameer Gibbs, and Sam Laporta, Brian Branch, and running back DeAndre Swift, even though he's with Philadelphia last season. Yeah. And so it's amazing. Listen to this, man. Just one more here. The Dolphins, during this span, have selected one player who's been selected to the Pro Bowl, and that's QB Tua. That's wild to me. And this is despite the Dolphins having 5 picks in the first 2 rounds in 2020 and 4 picks in the first 2 rounds in 2021. The Detroit Lions are the standard. That is wild. Yeah. And people who are looking at and assessing, because I was told 3-4 years ago that the Dolphins were next level genius. I was told just last year that their offense was something that the NFL had never seen before. Nobody can do anything with this offense. And now all of a sudden, no matter what you think of their coach individually, no matter what you could think of any of their individual players, that organization ain't right.
No, they haven't been.
You see where they are right now. The Detroit Lions continue to be the one, no matter what people try to do to dismiss them, that just continue to do things the right way. And it's not just, we could talk about Sheila and Chris Spillman and Disner, and they get a lot of credit, obviously. But when we kind of focus things on the vision, the singular vision of the general manager, Brad Holmes, is where you just see this thing has been absolutely ignited, because there's been belief in GMs in the past, and they've consistently let down ownership in the front office group. Brad Holmes has been the guy that's been an absolute visionary now, to the point that when you contrast it up against another team that was getting all of the roses laid out for them, the Dolphins were getting everybody. They were media darlings. Everyone thought that they were next up. And now people have to swallow this one hard pill in just a few short years. Bro, we're heading in the opposite direction while the Lions are at the top.
It's crazy, man. We are the model organization now. And if you look back at the Lions' history, that's just something that I never thought I would see. Even if they became a winning team, them to be the best organization in football, it's crazy to me. And success normally isn't linear, but with the Lions, it has been. You look at when Brad and Dan first got in here, 3-13-1 that first year. Then you go from that to 9-8. Then you go from that to 12-5 in an NFC Championship appearance. And now you sit this year, 15 wins, most in franchise history. You're the number 1 seed in the NFC, and you look like you have a clear path to the Super Bowl. It's just the job that Brad Holmes has done is just, it's been amazing. And he literally gave us the timeline. He said in 3 years, we will have this shit together. And by all accounts, they did. But that's not easy to do, man. You got to be able to trust your acumen. You got to be able to trust that the people you're bringing in here is going to be able to help move this thing forward. You got to trust that you're taking a chance on a guy like Jared Goff, who was discarded by another team. But I was there in the draft process. I kind of know what this kid is capable of. So I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to take a first-round pick, and I'm going to take Jared Goff off your hands, and we're going to see if we can run the team this way. And so far, so good. You look at the draft picks. All of these first, second, and third-year players have been directly responsible for the Lions' success. So, Brad Holmes, just for what he's done, it being cerebral in terms of free agency, being shrewd in the draft and who he wants to select, going against the grain, against what many of the media said. Why are you picking this player so high? Oh, that doesn't coincide with positional value. And he just said, F that, man. I'm going to do what the hell I want, because I know the vision I have for this team.
Right now.
I know the vision I have for this team, and I'm going to execute. And he has executed at every step of the way, and you got to give him credit for that, man.
You have to. And that's the thing. As soon as I saw that article, it was interesting to me, because it wasn't just a positive affirmation for what the Detroit Lions have done this season in a vacuum. This was positive affirmation for who they are as an entire franchise, as an entire organization, as an entire trendsetter. We know that even the Washington Commanders, who have had some good success this season, they plucked some people from the Detroit Lions front office organization over the offseason to be part of what they were going to foundationally be able to build upon. And it's an interesting thing, man. 3-13-1, to have your foundation, even at your worst, still be 3-1-3 is pretty dope when you just think about it. But Brad Holmes, the energy that you see from him out there on the field, even in games, to see him be that involved, he's engaged, and it matters. And you said it right, man. It's shot callers. These are the things that have continued to instill the faith. When he said they're building for longevity, we already understood that, yes, they want to be able to. The reason why we can sit here and say next year they're going to be like this, they're going to be that, because of how he builds. But the reason why they've been able to overcome every single aspect of injury, every single aspect of, they're going to throw Brian Branch out the game, or some of these teams are going to scheme up some different things that we might not have prepared for, or you know what, we're going to have to overcome. Realistically, our MVP, Jared Goff, getting a little bit of turnover prone, but we're still going to have the moxie. We're still going to have the character to be able to overcome those things. And it's the identity of the players that they bring in, whether it's through the draft or the specific, vets that they bring in the offseason or via trade to be able to complement this thing. It is a masterclass. We talk about Ben Johnson. We talk about Aaron Glenn. And we talked about, is it the personnel? And all we've seen, honestly, Brad Holmes do in about 3 years is realistically take each one of these kind of units, and he's turning them each into elite units with long term. Like, I'm not worried about, man, are we going to be able to keep this up? I'm not. Think about what he did to the offensive line first. Understanding, I got to win in the trenches on one side. Then he went to the defensive line. Then all of a sudden he was like, you know what? Secondary. And then bing, bing, bing. People didn't know. Why are you taking J-Mo? But it's like his vision. Like you already called it. I don't care about what y'all think. Maybe you guys wanted, all of us wanted to see J-Mo get flying sooner. But right now, we see that the vision that he has set forth is the one that we should just strap in and say, you know what? Just Brad Holmes, whatever you're doing, brother, we're along for the car ride, man.
He earned that cachet, and it was so many ways he could have came into the situation and failed. Just think, you coming into the Lions, the worst organization at that point in maybe all of professional sports. You come in, you got to trade your franchise quarterback of 12 years who has laid it all on the line for this team, but had no success, no playoff, no nothing, no division, no nothing. You got to trade him. So think of how that could have went sour. You bringing in a guy like Jared Goff. If he didn't pan out, then that looks away. What was the Lions' reputation in terms of draft picks? They never lived to see their second contract. The curse of the second round pick, they never pan out. And Brad Holmes turned that on his head. I'm going to pick the players that I want, and they're going to come in here and they're going to be able to execute. And it started with Penei Sewell, and just ever since that day, he has just hit after hit after hit after hit. And yes, he hasn't hit on absolutely everything, but I think 90% is pretty goddamn good if you ask me.
Track record.
So, I mean, there were so many ways where this guy could have just came in here and this shit could have went south, but he stayed steady to his vision. And it came back on the other side of it, man.
It did. Cavassier Chase GPT. What up, though, man?
I mean, I think we should all just admit, like, Brad Holmes is smarter than me, smarter than you, he's smarter than all of us. Like, the man, like, time and time again, like, year after year, just continues to, zig to everyone else's zag, do things his own way, and every single time he's proven to be right. He just knows something we don't. Whether or not he can see things we can't, whether or not he's got that sixth sense like Bruce Willis, and he's just, he can see the good players, secretly, there's a ghost whisper in his ear like Patrick Swayze. I don't know what it is, what he's got, but I mean, the man is just locked in. And, honestly, usually they say a genius isn't often recognized until after they're gone. But I think we should sit down and recognize we got a master class, a real next level genius in roster building in the NFL with Brad Holmes.
Chase, man, like, he even at points had to tell the fans to shut the fuck up. Because there were times where we're like, well, why did you sign this player? Well, why did you trade for this player? And he came to the podium and said, look, we have a plan. It may not be what y'all think it's going to be, but we not trying to win March, April, and May. We trying to win November, December, and January. And ever since that day, man, like, I just backed off. Like, you got it, big dog. You got it. You got it. You got it, bro.
What up, JB Smooth?
Hey, what's going on? Shout out to Burn in the super chat once again, sending in $5.
Shout out.
He says, I don't give a S. I'll say it right. I don't give a shit what the national media says. Those bums spent 2 weeks underselling the Legion of Boom and how they had no chance against Denver. And also Ryan's reaction for a $4.99 super chat as well too. He says, Is this team the most overlooked 15-2 team ever? Kirby snubbed, Ragnow snubbed, Goff snubbed, Gibbs snubbed, Tim Patrick snubbed as well too.
I'm starting to believe that Dan Campbell, is somewhere underneath an alias named, something different like Man Mamble.
Mamble.
What is this? People like, hey, don't vote for my guys. Because if the recipe works, I'm not really trying to upset that apple cart. When you want to piss off this Detroit Lions team, and how you get them 2 weeks to prepare, 2 weeks to stew, and we know that they're hearing it, and we're gonna, it's so appropriate. It's so appropriate. You know what? I want to play the DJ Reader clip when we get back. This is so appropriate because they hear the doubts. In his interview with Jim Rome, he asked him about that as well. So, what friends do we got to say what up to Mr. JB Smooth? Because I want to talk about with this. We saw what the Detroit Lions did versus the Minnesota Vikings. That, to me, is what I believe people thought they want to see. If you're going to bring in Zadarius Smith, you still have DJ Reader, you have Terrell Williams, you got, your linebackers in your secondary have that type of effect pressure-wise.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold looked very uncomfortable, much more uncomfortable than he did in even the first game that we played him in. So I want to talk about this. Is that pressure here to stay?
I hope so.
What friends we got to say what up, though, to?
Woodward in Maine.
Woodward in Maine and the pregame show playoff edition, baby. It is time. And listen, if you're not getting your Detroit sports coverage from Woodward Sports, what the hell is you doing, bro? You've been missing out the whole year, but there's still time. You can get on the bandwagon right now. Start with Woodward in Maine, man. 8 to 10 every morning. Will be adjusted for playoffs, of course. And you got my boy Matt Broder. Shout out to you, former WUW Crew, and the legend Terry Foster, man, bringing you all the Lions inside information that you need to get right for the game. And then after that, you got to get ready for the insufferable tone of Neil Rule and my boy Sean Belegian, another Detroit legend. And they are going to give you the real on what the hell it is with the Lions and whoever the hell they going against, man. But y'all all want to be tapped into those shows, or you can be there live at Second Best Bar, downtown Detroit. It's a great time, man. But you get all this on Detroit's #1 sports network. You know what that is, Kool-Aid?
Hey, talk to us.
Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports.
Oh.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Fuel your Lions fan up the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game or savoring quiet morning, or hey, kicking things off with the WUW Crew on Woodward Sports, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com. Choose your favorite roast and make sure you're using code Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake and unwind. Support local and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Hey, and attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine. You can join them every Tuesday on Big D Energy, every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards, where he's offering top-notch injury advice. So you guys got to trust the guy that D-Mac trusts. Why? Because Dr. Jeff here is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. Hey, what up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. My man DJ Chase put on the Kool-Aid track exclusive.
Love it.
I love this one, man. I absolutely. This is another one, KG. We're gonna have to get these collabs on.
Yeah, big facts
for the people, man.
Big facts. I'm
for
with
the
it.
people. Hey, y'all want to see KG and I collab on some stuff, man? We're gonna get the rest of the crew on some.
I don't know if they ready for that, man.
JB got bars.
They not ready for that heat.
Hey,
no,
you know
JB
what?
do got
He
bars.
got
Drop that fire.
That's what Ball King showed me. JB got
he got some heat, man. But hey, the vibes are immaculate in the city. The Detroit Pistons 5-game winning streak in the new year. They've won 8 of 9. They sit now in 7th in the Eastern Conference. It looks so beautiful. They are the 3rd hottest team in all of the NBA right now.
Just keep
They've
it
won
going.
8. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games, man.
Just
So
keep it going.
Keep it going. Continue to handle business. They have a great opportunity tonight against the 18-18 Warriors at home to do so. But chat family.
I mean, they don't got to beat up on my Warriors like that, but it's okay. It's okay.
Hey, you know
it's
what,
okay.
man? They're going to smack them tonight. They're going to smack
They
them.
don't got to do that. You don't got to do that, Kate.
They do.
They're gonna smack Cade. Go ham. He got to just kind of chill last night.
All right, he took the night off.
Second game of a back-to-back. They still handle business. And tonight, I think it's going to be it's the Warriors.
Yeah.
It's the Warriors. He knows that there's a few more of those national eyes that's going to be kind of just, let's see what he's doing. So let's work, man. Let's work. But I do got to ask you guys this one question before we hear from one DJ Reader on the Detroit Lions defense, because we're talking about if this pressure is here to stay, because that pressure in the Minnesota Vikings game was uniquely different than any of the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
And that also leads to another player that they got back for that Vikings game as well. But, hey, tell me this, man. Is Brad Holmes already, we can clear this, is it safe to say, the best GM in Detroit Lions history?
Oh, bro, they didn't have GMs in the 50s. Who else is beating Brad Holmes? Matt Millen?
Hey,
Nobody.
Martin Mayhew?
Hey, let's get the like poll going. Maybe we can include Brad Holmes some way.
Easy
but just
fucking
chat
money.
family, let me know. Is he the best GM in Detroit Lions history already?
Yeah.
I need the people to let me
Hands
know.
down.
But you know what? Let's also, if we can, let's hear from DJ Reader, because he had a lot to say about this Detroit Lions defense and what makes it so special.
Yeah.
What was your statement, DJ, for anybody who doubted whether or not your defense can show up the way it did?
Man, I think we just showed who we are. We're a unit who, we're coming together. It looks different than what it did at the beginning of the season, but now everybody who's out there has played a lot of snaps with each other, and we're starting to figure each other out at the right time. And I think, that's just what doubters don't know. Everybody can sit from outside and pick apart. It's easy to do and sit there and, throw stones and whatever you want to do. But I think the best thing for us is knowing what we have inside. We kept winning games, and so we just built confidence in each other, and we knew that those things would come. Our coordinator, AG, he just built more confidence in us. Our position coaches, they believe in us, and our offense, they're going to go out there and do what they do. They're going to put up points, so we're going to get a lot of opportunities, and I think those opportunities paid off.
DJ, you mentioned doubters. Are there doubters? Like, do you guys, obviously, as an athlete, a high-level athlete, you're going to come up with ways to motivate yourself.
Yeah.
Is that a way to motivate yourself? Or are there actual doubters, and do you hear them?
I think there's not doubters. I think there's more second guessers. I guess you would call that doubt, though, right? Yeah. I guess that falls in the same category. I think, what we've done has been great, and we've proven we're a really good team. But we haven't gotten it done to the end yet, and I think that's what everybody's waiting on. And I don't think you get to talk as much until that happens. So it's to be expected. It's what happens, and I think that's just the internal motivation. We know how close we got as an organization last year, and the motivation is that we're meant to slip up again, but we want to keep going and keep pushing forward.
Dang, man, DJ Reader had a lot to say there about this team. And you know what I continue to take away from all these Detroit Lions in their podcasts and their appearances? Just how cool, calm, and collected he is. I don't know where he is, but my man is comfortable. My man is confident right now. Shout out to DJ Reader, and you hear him talking about just how they know, the offense is going to handle their business. We already know that, so we're just going to go out there and do our thing. We look different than the beginning of the season, but we feel like we're just now starting as this new defense to hit our stride.
Yeah.
Especially when you talk about Alex Anzalone on the return. But that's pretty scary when you hear him say, no, we haven't just been patchworking. we've been learning to play as this new defensive line. The same way that in the beginning of the season, Dan Campbell said that they needed 4, 5, 6 weeks for the offense to get gelling. Well, this defense got completely reset in week 5?
Yeah.
So they needed time to kind of get used to guys now stepping up and playing bigger roles, bigger minutes. The stamina aspect, you don't just have full game stamina or increased role stamina day one necessarily. You don't. And so these players now in new positions, no matter what their expectation was, DJ Reader makes the assertion that this defense is figuring it out to the point that I believe it's here to stay. I believe that pressure we saw against the Vikings, because there were other people out there like Spears and others who thought, no, that's just manufactured against Sam Darnold who sees ghosts. No, I believe that was an Aaron Glenn masterclass that's going to be copy and paste and repeat against whoever we play in our first playoff game and our second playoff game.
Yeah.
I believe that type of performance is here to stay.
You gotta hope so, man. And you said the Lions defense was reset in week 5, which it was, because that was a huge injury, Aiden Hutchinson going down. But we have not been 100% on the defensive end all year long. Marcus Davenport goes down very, very early in the season. You already didn't have John Kaminsky coming into the year. So there's just, the Lions defense has not been whole this whole time, and they've had to make the best of it. But what people forget about is that, yeah, you may be using practice squad players and things of that nature to kind of supplement, but they are a part of the team. You practice with them all training camp. You practice with them in the preseason, and they are there and they are around getting those reps. So what he's saying makes perfect total sense. Like, they are getting the right chemistry at the right time. They are learning each other, and it's hard to do that when you got people in and out each week. You're constantly got to shuffle the lineups. I brought up the lineup combinations before on previous shows, but now that they are kind of set and you are starting to get some reinforcements back, you are like beginning to gel as a defense, and it's beautiful to see. That's why you can go out and have a game like you had against the Vikings, because everybody knows their assignments, everybody knows where they're supposed to be, and everybody trusts each other and relies on each other to go out there and do your job. And as long as you do that, and AG is drawing it up the way he is, I think this Lions defense can compete. Now, there is one thing I want to bring up.
Talk to me.
Shout out Braylon Edwards, because he's been in the chat the last couple of days, and he said that the Lions should be wary of trying to bring the same type of pressure, because in the playoffs you're not going to be seeing quarterbacks that will be missing a whole bunch of receivers. So you need to be wary of how you handle that. And in a way, I do agree, because the more pressure that you bring or that you have to manufacture, you are taking some chances with your secondary, and you're leaving them on islands, and you need them to make plays. But what we've seen from this Lions secondary is that they have totally stepped up to the challenge. I mean, the coverage is the reason you won that Vikings game. Sam Darnold had nowhere to throw the football. You took Jordan Addison out of that game. You took Justin Jefferson out of that game. So if they can compete at a level like that in the playoffs and be able to cut off people's number 1 or number 2 receivers, then I have full confidence that this Lions defense, they can get home, they can create pressure and havoc and make opposing quarterbacks life a living hell.
And you know what? One of the big factors that allowed the Detroit Lions defense to play the way they did and be able to have the secondary really stay home, Alex Anzalone.
No, absolutely.
His return
he was huge.
Was absolutely crazy. We got the clip of DJ Reader talking about Alex Anzalone and just what it meant, because we got to in the next segment. I want to make sure that we just highlight him. With this week, guys, there's going to be time when we break down the game. I know tomorrow we're going to get into breaking down this weekend and the implications and covering basically the wild card weekend in NFL football playoffs. And then next week, obviously, we're going to break down a little bit more of our matchup. But right now, we get the opportunity in review and to be able to, in this bye week, be able to basically tip the cap to everyone who made this regular season what it is, to keep our Super Bowl expectations, honestly, at the highest possible percentage possible. That's what this is about right now. So let's hear from DJ Reader on Alex Anzalone, and then we'll say what up, though, to some friends and get right back to it.
Hey, so I don't want to single one guy out, but how huge – like, I love Alex Anzalone. I've always loved the guy. I loved him before he got there. I love him now that he is there. His energy, man, his aggression, how much of a lift do you and the entire defense get, or did you get from his return?
Man, we love Zoe, man. He's our energy guy. Zoe, not only with being a quarterback of the defense, man, and just knowing everything, super smart and amazing player, but he's got so much energy, man. He gives it to us all the time. And the guys, we just love it, man. You need more positive energy guys out there always, and with being an amazing player, it sparks not only us but the crowd. You see how the crowd reacts to Zoe when he's out there, and it's amazing, man. So it was big to get him back. He's the leader of our defense, one of our captains, and we love him.
Dog, and you just keep hearing this, the quarterback of our defense. I think sometimes we might understate it. When we talk about the next man up, Alex Anzalone is one of those guys, from whether it's Dan Campbell to a guy like DJ Reader saying it, or even a guy like Amon-Ra, who we'll hear from in the next segment, saying it. This guy is quarterback of your defense. How important is that?
No, it's important, man. I mean, him wearing the green dot, and let's be real about it. Alex Anzalone is a complete linebacker. And I think that, the people on this team, they appreciate his work ethic. They appreciate his toughness. Like we talked about when he broke his arm, he didn't even flinch. He just came off the field like, oh, yeah, it's broken. But you couldn't even tell, like, just from an outside eye, you couldn't really tell that his arm was broken like that. But I think they appreciate what he brings to the table. And like I said, he's a calming force for this defense, man. Like, you go out there, you send Anzo out there, you know what you're going to get from him week to week, snap to snap, pretty much. He's going to go out there. He's going to be able to tackle very well. He's going to be able to play well in the run game. And he is pretty good at covering backs and tight ends out of the backfield. So you got an all-around linebacker here, and I think they absolutely appreciate just what he brings to the game. You got to.
Yeah, definitely. And, we're going to hear about it a little bit more in this next segment. It was interesting just to hear Anzo just talk about what he had to deal with playing with the arm that way. And, again, one of those players that you want to tip the cap to, because that defense looked energized. And when you hear a player of DJ Reader's magnitude talk about who Alex Anzalone is to this defense, that's where I'm just like, yo, we got the reinforcements at the right time.
Absolutely.
I see Xavier D in the chat says Anzo equals engine. At Lady Jane's, we take the chore out of getting a haircut. Our talented stylist will deliver an industry-leading haircut, a relaxing scalp massage, my favorite, the hot lather neck shave, and you know what, KG, that hot towel treatment, man.
Where they putting that towel?
I don't know. Face, neck, back, I don't know, man. Hey,
right.
But hey, you got a talented stylist that is here to make it happen. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Respect the Janes.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Scan that QR code on screen. Use code word Woodward1000. You can deposit up to $1,000, but all you have to do is just play a $20 bet. And you know what? If it doesn't hit, they'll throw it right back into your account with no questions asked. The best sportsbook around, Caesar Sportsbook. Scan that QR code. Use code Woodward1000. Make some money today.
And with that money, you can go buy a new car. Why not, man? You hit on that good parlay. Why don't you
Why not?
You hit that parlay, go to Les Stanford Chevrolet. Hey, man, and beat that holiday rush and get amazing deals right now. They got a Blazer EV2 LT with all-wheel drive for only $149 per month. Or check out the Equinox EV LT for only $169 per month. Get to Les Stanford today or click on the QR code right above my head and check out their massive inventory. Don't forget, Les Stanford has Cadillac, Buick, and GMC as well. Any car you want, they got it, man. Les Stanford in Dearborn and Ferndale. LesStanford.com.
How's that
Sore. It's bad. Like, yesterday was bad. After the game, it was bad, but today's a little better. Yeah.
What does it feel like? Cause like it's obviously it's broke, but it's what is the pad gonna do, bro? Let's be real. Like this shit is fucking cooked.
It feels like, it just hurts.
It's probably like sharp pain.
Yeah, more like dull achy, but it hurts.
Okay.
Yeah, but like yesterday, I tried to lean back and like get up.
Right.
And I'm on the floor or whatever, and it's like, nah.
Yeah.
What'd you caption on Instagram? Like someone with dogs? What was that?
You know what it was.
No. It was like no. What was it? Everyone wants to be a dog. What is it? Fuck.
No, I want to hear from him. What'd you say?
Everyone wants to be a dog until you gotta do some dog shit.
Yeah.
That's hard.
That is hard. He's like, that's hard.
That's hard. Your DB had a good quote too after the game. That shit was hard.
Oh yeah, that was harder honestly, and that was like off the chain too.
Dog, I see it.
Zoe a gangster, bro.
Goodness.
Everybody want to be a dog till you got to do dog shit.
Dog, he got me fired up, dog. I'm running like, all right,
that's
wear
fire.
his pads. Let me strap up. Let me get the helmet. Let's go out there and do work. But we got to make sure that we shout out Alex Anzalone, man. What a bar from him. And just to know what he had to play through. That was the interesting thing, too. It's like not just a quarterback. But this is a guy who wants this for the city, wants this for himself. And he just, I thought he was going to go out there with a club on, bro.
Yeah, I thought so, too.
And instead, he had just a big old sweatband on. I used to wear one of those back in the day. You know how Nelly used to wear those
He got
things?
the John Cena joint on.
Yeah, bro. He used to have one of them big old. He went out there with a glorified sweatband, and to hear him just talk about, man, it hurts. Just so casually. Like,
right.
It hurts.
Sore.
Like, sore. I broke it.
You're right.
It's just like, yo, shout out to Alex Anzalone. And he didn't just go out there and just kind of like be one of those galvanizing forces. He went out there and led the team in tackles, bro.
Guess what he do? I told you he a complete linebacker. He play all over the field, bro. Sideline to sideline, in the middle in terms of closing down the gaps, bro. Like, Anzo is the full product, bro. He has literally grown into, I would say, a top 10 to top 15 linebacker in this league, hands down. Hands down.
As long as Anzo is healthy, he's the reason why I do believe everything else is going to work with this defense, and we see the pressure stay. You hear me often say that Cade Cunningham is a straw, and that will continue to be the straw that stirs the drink for the Pistons. That's what I'm starting to really, really understand about Alex Anzalone. Though there was a lot of people throughout the season who have some great feats, what I'm looking at what Alex Anzalone means to this team, it was just something different. And to be able to be the quarterback of that defense and know where to be, some players, they might have good talent. but they might not have necessarily the instinct that it takes to be the quarterback of the defense.
Yeah.
That means that he has the ability and the opportunity to really roam. If he feels like, you know what, my instinct is telling me I need to really leak out in coverage and make sure that I cover the running back, or that the tight end is going to chip off the line of scrimmage and then flare out. I need to make sure I'm out there. These are the decisions that we saw the Detroit Lions do much better with Alex Anzalone out there against the Vikings than we did while he was out.
Because he just got good base instincts, and that's why AG can trust him, down every single down that he's out there, is because he's got good natural instincts, and all you need to do is just, make an adjustment here, make an adjustment there, and go out there and do your thing. But these players trust him on that defense. He is the green dot for a reason, man. And shout out to Jack Campbell, who did a great job in his stead. But now that you have Alex Anzalone back, he is the leader of this defense, and he is going to be the one that stabilizes them throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. When you talk about Alex Anzalone, just from a mentorship standpoint, I like the fact that people say with him it's just about going out there and doing it.
Yeah.
Going out there and doing it, shutting out all of the noise, and he's just continued to just create his own narrative track, which is something that we always equate to who Dan Campbell is. They go out there and they're narrative busters, and they're rewriting everything, man. Everything. I still am shocked that he went out there with a broken forearm effectively, and it's not even all the way healed up. It's out there in pain. But ball is life, man.
Yeah, it's not easy to do, bro.
It's not easy to do, man. He's cooking out there. JB Smooth, another person I know that be cooking. Alex Anzalone, this Detroit Lions defense. Are you confident that the pressure we saw against the Vikings is here to stay?
I'm confident. I don't know if that same level as KG, you said, Braylon brought it up the other day, like you don't want to bring that same type of pressure, at least mix it up, do something different, because teams are going to be expecting this. But I love the fact that Anzo is back. It brought that defense just some extra added energy that we hadn't seen the past couple games, and I don't know, I think the rest of the defense just kind of feeds off him being back as well too. Hell, you saw it in that Vikings game as well too. Stopping them in the red zone, like I wouldn't even have thought of anything like that to even happen with this defense as well too. So having Anzo back is definitely a blessing and a plus. And shout out to everyone sending in super chats as well too. Made in the USA, $5 super chat. Flowers to Sheila once again.
Oh yeah.
All hail Sheila. I'm not too sure if I'm pronouncing this name right as well too. $4.99. Adam Shally?
Yeah, Adam Shally.
Yeah,
Shout out
Adam
to
Shally.
him.
Shout out.
Shout out.
That's my dog. That's my dog.
Sunday with my old man and kids was amazing. Go Lions. Cannot wait to continue this playoff experience with the Shally family fired up. And also, Dante, once again, $4.99 super chat. Shout out. He does not stop. Get that mixtape ready, Kool-Aid. Also, wasn't the Dolphins going to release Calais Campbell so he can join a playoff team?
Imagine.
Time is ticking, Dolphins. Time is ticking. Come on. I need that.
I do know somebody who does believe that the defense we saw against the Vikings is here to stay. That is one Amon-Ra St. Brown. Let's hear from him before we get into this next segment, because we got to talk about something really, really quickly before we get into what's trending.
Yeah.
And some news that kind of popped up, and it just made me, I'm like, the two names, there's three names. Two of the names, I'm like, okay. The third name, I was like, that's interesting. But let's hear from Amon-Ra St. Brown on this Detroit Lions defense.
Expected to go like that, or was it like?
I mean, it was a tale of two halves. One half was tight. The next half was, I feel like the complete opposite.
Was loose?
It was loose. First half, I mean, they were showing us looks that I don't know if we were expecting, ready for, so we kind of had to adjust. But I think second half, first of all, hats off to our defense. They played.
No, really, yeah, they did.
They played one of the best games I've ever seen them play. The red zone was crazy. I think they stopped them on all red zone trips. Third down, they were amazing. I think they only had like 100-something yards of total offense. They all just balled out, man. So hats off to all of them. But if they keep playing like that, it might be bad for other teams. But they fucking balled out, man.
What does that mean, like New Orleans? Like,
I don't know, bro. Just know that our defense was on one, and it was just fun to watch from the sideline, bro. Like, they were having fun, celebrating, being at home with the crowd. The fans were loud. It was fucking crazy, bro. It was lit.
I love
It
how
was lit.
excited and how pumped up Amon-Ra St. Brown gets about everything else.
Yeah.
When you talk about the anti-diva wide receiver, this guy is always talking about and bigging up his players, his teammates and such, and the city of Detroit.
No,
man. But
shout
it was
out to
awesome
him.
talking about that.
He brought the playoff blue hair back, man. And people was calling him slot merchant. He got slot merchant merch now. Like, shout out to him, man. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Speaking
bro.
of
How do
that,
you not?
actually, haha,
Uh-oh.
slot merchant merch.
Hey, JB Smooth, always cooking up.
That's a fire hoodie too. I want that. I ain't gonna hold you. But shout out to Amon-Ra St. Brown, just a consummate professional leader of this offense. But him just enjoying what the defense is doing out there. Like he said, they were out there having fun. They were playing loose in the second half. That shows me that they figured out what the hell the Vikings were trying to do, and it was raps after that, bro.
Raps.
So if they can play that same type of defense, I mean, it's only going to help the Lions' chances of completing the mission, man. And you're going against better quarterbacks in the playoffs. You do have to be wary of that. But you also, on the same token, can't just allow QBs to be back there 4, 5, 6 seconds and pick you apart. So it's going to have to be a healthy mix, like JB said.
Yeah.
But I'm really liking like how they're gelling right now, how the chemistry is coming together, and how AG is just calling this thing. AG, give him his credit too, bro. He is calling this shit. He is.
It has been masterful thing to watch, and it's cool to hear DJ Reader even when he was talking about not just the coaches but even the positional coaches, because the stuff that we keyed in on early.
Yeah.
You know, these guys are making not just the changes amongst your OC and your DC, but they're going through and they're looking at like, can we make any other granular changes to be able to help fortify this thing? Because think about this, Terrell Williams. We understand how the reputation he had at helping people improve their technique as it relates to pass rushing. We all instantly equated that to how effective those starters were going to be, and primarily Aiden Hutchinson, who were like, can we turn those pressures into sacks?
Yeah.
Who knew that we were going to have Terrell Williams effectively work his voodoo with all of the other people who were going to have to step up in that place?
Yeah.
It's almost like Fred Vincent, like between Fred Vincent and with the three-point shooting, and now we see the Pistons all across the board, including Cade shooting threes out the wazoo. We see Terrell Williams and what this defensive line has been able to do without freaking Aiden Hutchinson, among others that have been out. Now Lee McNeil and Davenport and such. You look at, goodness gracious, I forget his name, pitching coach, Tigers.
It's slipping my mind right now.
My mind, the Tigers pitching coach, but it's amazing
Scott
to see.
Fetter.
Chris Fetter. Goodness gracious.
It's a lot of Chris's and Scotts.
It's pretty awesome to see what these guys are able to do with their expertise. It goes that deep for this thing, for the squad. It's a reason why I believe this is going to continue as long as we have that Alex Anzalone. But
yeah,
you know what? We got to get into this next segment real quick. It's just a quick news blurb that we're seeing come across. Obviously, we know that Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson are both candidates right now. They're getting all types of interview requests, and they are going to take some interviews during their bye week. But there was another one that popped up, and that's one, and it surprised me. Chris Spillman.
Yeah, it don't necessarily surprise me.
That was, well, in the beginning, I know it was about, hey, I'm just here for this. And now his aspirations are looking forward. And you know what? I get that as your confidence grows and the NFL comes a calling, which the Jets are trying to interview him for their GM job.
Yep.
This is what happens. So we got to break it down. I just want to be able to gauge you guys' level of concern for the Detroit Lions staying on track as an overall organization, because when we talk about some of those main parts and pieces that's made this renaissance possible, Chris Spillman is always the one that people say, don't forget about Chris.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about it in the next segment. What friends you want to say what up, though, to JB Smooth?
I got to tell them about Jars and Soroki's, actually.
That's a perfect combo right there.
It is a perfect combo.
Man. Jars and
Soroki's? Come
yeah.
on now. But shout out to Randall Smalls for sending in another super chat as well, too. $10. He says, I don't think I have ever seen a team, not just the Lions, but any team plays for each other, for their brothers. Love my Lions family. Shout out.
Big shout out.
Yeah, definitely shout out. Now let me tell you about this Jars Cannabis we got going on, because whether you're hitting the game or just chilling, Jars Cannabis has you covered. Jars is home to Michigan's largest line of recreational cannabis products, as it is. Oh, get that off the face, man. They got 27 locations across the state, repping Michigan in a big way. 9 locations in Metro Detroit, so there's always one close nearby you, as it is. And don't fear, because if you live in Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, or Mile in Michigan, new stores are coming your way as well. It's Jars Cannabis. I know you want to get high, and after, you can eat some Soroki's.
Oh, God.
Come
yes.
on.
Please.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. They're continuing through this football season, debuting their fresh signature flavored wings. Grab your friends, order a New York style pizza, and some fresh wings for your game day special. Try one of their 7 different flavors. And if you don't have time to go in store, you can always order online at Sorokis.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, you know, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won.
This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
1,800 tequila, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Playoff tequila, man. It's the official tequila of Woodward Sports Lions watch parties and the post-game show. Join 1,800 and Woodward Sports every single Lions playoff game live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township. And we is turning up all the way to the Super Bowl with Smooth 1,800 Tequila, proud sponsor of your and our Detroit Lions. 1,800 Tequila, it's the best taste in tequila, and please, you fucking maniacs, drink responsibly.
No promises.
Hey, what up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the WUW Crew. Can we run up these lights? We got,
Run it
we're in the
up.
last half hour, we got one of your favorite segments out there ever, What's Trending. And I know that Stick just said, you know, a lot of what we were feeling too. He said, you know what, this needs to be a clip every single day on the main channel.
Yeah.
Shout out to our brother JB Smooth. Upgrades, updates in 2025. Love to see it. Love to see success among the brethren. But we got to talk about something real quick. Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, and then now Chris Spielman. Via Dave Burkett, I don't know who had this first to give proper credit to, but I know it's out there and it is true. Lions front office exec Chris Spielman will interview with the New York Jets for their vacant GM job. Spielman has been a key behind-the-scenes figure for the Lions since 2021. And so instantly, when you talk about the fabric of this organization, you have to start to ask yourself, you know what? Is there any concern or is there any worry about the health of the organization as you move forward? And for me, there was something that you said, KG. There was something that you said in the last, when we were covering how the Lions can overcome this thing. And after a while, you're like, you know what? As long as Jared Goff is upright, I ain't betting against the Detroit Lions. And you know what, man? as long as there's a Sheila, a Brad, and a Dan Campbell, especially when you talk about losing those coordinators, I am not worried at all. Dan Campbell literally was hired in here before even the GM. And it was because of the type of tone that they were going to expect him to set. And he's not only stated it, he said it, and they are still going out there and honestly pushing the expectations to new heights. To me personally, this is what happens to good organizations. People want your sauce. They want the Lions way. We've created that now. They've created that now.
Yeah.
And that's the part of it where it's just like, you know, you don't want to see your good ones go. But if it's a microcosm of what you've done well, then if you're an organization of health building for longevity, then you're going to have the next man up mentality across the board. Whether it's Ben Johnson, whether it's Aaron Glenn, whether it's Chris Spellman, and they won't be the last.
No, absolutely not. And it's just the life cycle in the NFL. Most people that are coordinators, executives, things of that nature, they have bigger aspirations. So when you're a good organization, people want to take your people. I mean, that's just part of the life cycle. But you took the words right away from me, bro. Do you still have Sheila? Do you still have Brad Holmes? Do you still have Dan Campbell? Then I think we'll be okay. And, you know, that is yet to be seen, of course, because we haven't lost our coordinators yet. But when that day comes, and it is going to come, Lions fans, unfortunately, one, if not both of our coordinators are probably going to leave. And even Chris Spillman, I'm not mad at that either, because
not mad at all.
He has been somebody who has been around, I believe, since the Matt Millen era, and he's always wanted things to go a different direction with the Lions organization. He just didn't have the power or the say-so to do so. But then comes Martha, then comes Sheila. They kind of make him a consultant, you know, a little bit closer to the ear. And when Sheila was having trouble trying to find out who the next Lions coach and GM was going to be, she tapped on Chris Spillman. Hey, come in here, help advise me, help get me, you know, the right football people that we can, you know, actually build this thing for the next generation with. And what did he come up with? He helped come up with Dan Campbell, who was on nobody's radar, and he helped come up with Brad Holmes, who was, you know, a very prominent front office member in the Rams organization. So as long as you got Sheila, man, and Dan and Brad, I trust their decision making, because even if you just look at Dan Campbell's track record, he started with Anthony Lynn, right? Yeah. That wasn't necessarily going right. So he eventually had to fire somebody who was a close friend to him, and then he tapped on this person that, okay, he's been around the offense, he's been helping out in ways, but I'm gonna give him a shot. Let's see if he can help me install some of these offensive philosophies that, you know, we need to implement in order to get better. And, you know, you look up later and he's one of the best offensive coordinators in the NFL. Look at what he did with AG. Yeah. AG was taking a lot of heat those last couple years because coordinators under him would get fired, but it seemed like AG was always the thing that remained, and while the defense was struggling, a lot of fingers were being pointed at AG. But Dan Campbell was like, no, I trust my guy. I trust my guy, and I trust his decisions. He lets him go hire Terrell Williams and Deshae Townsend this year, and now you look at the Lions defense, and I don't give a damn about the injuries in the latter half of the season. The Lions had one of the better defenses in the NFL this year. Yep. So we just got to be real about it. So as long as you have people like that in place that can make those type of decisions, I'm not necessarily worried. There's rumors that there are already people in the building, like a Terrell Williams, you know, who came in from the Tennessee Titans, or maybe a Kelvin Shepard, who has been here working with the linebackers on offense. Tanner A. Strand, you know, we've heard that name. We've heard Mark Brunell, QB coach. You know, there's a lot of different people that they can go recycle this with. Yeah, I'm talking about depth.
We talking about depth.
And even if they don't go in-house, I trust the fact that they can go out and find somebody on the outside that would fit the Lions' philosophy and the culture that they want to continue to have, you know, in Detroit. So, hey, I'm riding with my guys, man. As long as those core people are in place, the Lions organization is in good hands.
And it's interesting you talk about those core players being in place, and the way I tried to lay out the show sheet today, obviously we get this week to just kind of take the time and pay homage to everybody that made this type of stuff possible for us as fans this week before we get back to business of breaking down the games. Starting tomorrow, we start breaking down playoff football for the weekend tomorrow. But it's interesting because we talked about the Dolphins writer who went back and looked at the start of the Lions and the Dolphins kind of rebuild. Yep. And how the Dolphins got off to a promising start. But when it's all said and done, the Lions are the one who have a promising future and a promising today, while the Dolphins are going backwards. And it's funny when you look at this full circle moment, right? Here you go. The Lions have successfully done their rebuild thanks to GM Brad Holmes and head coach Dan Campbell, the former Dolphins interim head coach.
Yep.
And the interim head coach that Campbell replaced when he was hired in 2021, current Dolphins QB coach Darrell Bevell. It's just like, it's amazing. Like, the Lions were able to identify Dan Campbell despite all of the noise from the outside people. That's what I'm saying. And that's what makes me confident. That's what makes me confident. They identified Dan Campbell, which shows that our front office is very competent. You look at, they also identified Brad Holmes and others. And then what did Dan Campbell do? He went out. Do we have an Aaron Glenn here if it's not a Dan Campbell here? Do we have a Ben Johnson here if it's not a Dan Campbell here?
We don't.
Do we have a Terrell Williams here if it's not a Kelvin Shepard? We can go down the list of this thing.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why, you know, at first when I saw this stuff, I thought I was feeling worried, and then I realized, no. This was a season where we were always supposed to realize and learn how to deal. How do we, as fans, root for a team of Super Bowl expectations? How do we become Super Bowl expectant fans? No, then I realized the feeling I have is just, hey, you know, they going on to bigger and better, and that's what you expect. Like Dan Campbell said, out of your guys, he said, look, man, AG and Ben Johnson, those guys deserve to be head coaches. And did I hear worry in his voice? No, I heard a guy that was just like, this is what I do, man.
Yeah.
I just wanted my coach tree gonna be the best tree in the NFL, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I believe. Because so far what he's done with the Lions, nobody saw that coming.
No, that's a big fact, man. And just, I hate that we even got to talk about this, because if the Lions do complete the mission, or even if they don't, man, there is going to be big questions this offseason as to whether or not, you know, Ben Johnson or AG is going to leave. And if they do, you know, I wish them the best. They have done a masterful job, you know, being coordinators for the Lions these last few years. And just, you got to, like you said, next man up mentality. That goes for the coaching staff as well. But the Lions are innovative. If you look at how they built this staff, a lot of former players, they were one of the first teams to really assemble a whole coaching staff and front office based off of former players. I think they'll be okay. I think the Lions are in good hands going forward, man.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And you know what, Justin, Jelena, I see you in the chat. When you have a coach or even a manager and a typical job that gives his guys a ringing endorsement from a promotion, you will have so many other talented coaches that want to join your organization. That is such a brilliant point. Think about all of the next guys up. When we talk about that, and what do we hear during the draft process? How many different prospects wanted to just be a part of the Lions culture, that they were using all the code words and then just openly talking glazingly about the Detroit Lions? Think about those coaches, those next up coaches.
Yeah, and
that's awesome.
It's not just draft, you know, prospects. It's not just free agents. If you're a good organization, coaches want to come there too, and they know they have an opportunity to come here and do something that has never been done in the context of NFL history. If you can get the Lions to a Super Bowl or back-to-back, or, you know, if you can make the Lions a dynasty, like, that goes a long way in terms of career success and legacy, man. So, yeah, we're a destination now.
We're just saying, hey, I see the super chats in there. JB Smooth, you want to read off? I see Randall Smalls has one. And Dante 151, another one.
Bro, whatever job you got, hook the brother up, bro.
This is the Dante 151 super chat line.
Yeah, I mean, we can't hear you, Chase.
I just asked Dante if he was hiring, man.
You're right.
I don't know what job you got, man, but let us know.
I do something strange for a piece of chicken.
Pause.
Big pause there. But let me read off these super chats once again. Shout out to Randall Smalls again at KG. Love it. I feel the same. New opportunities for teams and new ideas for the future. Go Lions. We also got Dante 151 once again, $9.99. I understand Chris Spielman taking the interview, but do you really think he's going to take the job with the owner's kid using Madden ratings to deny a trade for a really good wide receiver? I don't think so.
That's probably why they look at that Spielman now.
Right.
Like, look, now do you see?
Yeah, no, I can't see him going to the Jets, especially with that mess going on. But Chris Spielman is somebody that is definitely deserving. He is also somebody that has been a Lion through and through, like through all the bullshit he's been here, through the success he's been here. So I see him leaving? Yes, I wouldn't want him to, but if he does, I mean, he deserves it, man. His brother, another successful NFL GM, had plenty of years in the game. It might just be his destiny to eventually run a team. And if you look at how he kind of helped usher this Lions era in, then, you know, it makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense, and that's honestly why I'm not worried. This is a sign of a good to borderline great organization. They're doing business the right way. They have their next man up, and Dan Campbell's already shown what he can do. He's identified things. He's not afraid to make the changes if they have to be made. And think about it. We were already happy about it, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they went out and said, hey, we can just bring in a Terrell Williams if we want. They can just do that when they want to. And why? Because players and coaches want to be a part of what the Detroit Lions got cooking right now. And we got to tip the cap to Sheila Ford Hamp for what she's allowed this organization to become. And I don't know how, because marketing classes would tell you how long it takes to shed trends, but they've done it in less than 5 years. They've done it in less than 20 years. People know now we mean business.
Yeah. The biggest thing Sheila did was step out the way. Like, hey, I'm not a football person per se. I don't have all the football knowledge in the world, but I'm going to go get people. Exactly. I want to see this losing shit change, and I'm going to go get people that can help me do that. So shout out to her, man. She's been amazing.
That's what we call a bow on a segment. Let's say what up though to our friends, because we got to get you guys some what's trending today.
Got to.
Actually, we can just roll into what's trending, because I think we covered everything. Right now.
Let's rock. What's trending? Let's go. Let's get things sparking. Word to Jars.
Shout out.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Hey, that brother JB over there, real smooth.
What's going on, fellas? What's going on, everyone in the chat? Shout out to everyone dropping their wrestlers in the chat as well, too. I love seeing that, you guys. I truly do.
Yeah, man.
I'm scrolling through all these names right here. Love everything. The Bam Bam Bigelow's, Mr. Fuji, Hornswoggle. Like, they're all old school classic names.
Executive decision, bro. You got ringside keyed up before we can play that first?
Yeah, actually I do.
Let's do that. One more time. Still in here. We're ringside. I see the chat family putting the wrestlers in, and you guys for what you're about to do with this platform. You got to upgrade.
Yeah, no. Hey, everybody commenting wrestlers right now. You take your happy ass right over to Woodward ringside when we debut.
Y'all got like 3, 4, 5 episodes already recorded, which will be hitting the network by February. Stick and I were just here looking at it. We were like, nope, get these guys on the desk for the A-Pod. So it's going to be dope, man.
Okay.
Let's see it one more time before we get into it.
It all comes back. It all comes back to that. Y'all keep trying to hold out. Like you said, everybody's got a price.
Everybody's got a price.
Ted DiBiase voice, man.
But I've stared at this picture
Don't get me in trouble.
several times. I've zoomed in on this picture multiple times.
You zoomed in on that with the new VR headset, didn't you?
Like I said, I've zoomed in on this picture multiple times.
I'm sure you
can't
did.
see nothing. But anyway,
bro, I'm definitely going to go home and zoom on that myself. But
hey, what up, y'all? I'm excited. KG, JB, Woodward ringside, everything fighting, wrestling, boxing, MMA, whatever, however. Hey, you guys got it covered.
Yeah, for sure, man. And we got some connections too, man. Like I said, I'm trying to reach out to the local talent of our great city because we are fight capital, man. We are one of the fight meccas in the world. So I want to be able to profile some of the up-and-coming boxers, some of the up-and-coming MMA fighters. Woodward Sports, we may have something with mixed Muay Thai going on. So, hey, man, tap in, bro. It's going to be entertaining. We got all the laughs and coverage that you need.
All right, let's get to it, JB. What you got?
I got you, but definitely tap in.
Jay Hart, real quick. Yeah, we did talk about the Raw debut on one of our episodes. So I'm telling y'all, when they drop, be ready. Be ready when they drop.
Oh yeah, shout out for that super chat as well too. But we definitely got some things in store for you guys as well too. I know we brought this up earlier, but you know, Amon-Ra has his hoodies out right now, the slot merchant, because one Mr. George Picken had the nerve to call Amon-Ra a slot merchant earlier on in the season. So you know what? Let's just throw some merch out there for him real quick.
And my bad, JB. I didn't know you had this cue for what's trending.
Oh, no, you're good, too.
No, this is fire, bro.
I want this hoodie.
If you watch the show 14, bro, I need one of these, bro. Send some love to the Woodward Sports Studios, man. That is a fire hoodie. And fuck what they say about you, bro.
In care of Wake Up Woodward. Yeah. In care of Wake Up Woodward.
It is, yeah.
Because if it comes here to Woodward Sports, we might not see it.
Bro. Hey, no. Send that directly to us.
No, that's a fact. Fuck what they say about you, bro.
Mad at them.
No, absolutely not. Fuck what they say about you, bro. You are a complete receiver, and we love you, bro. You is Detroit's own. We love you to death, man. Let's go.
Love you to death. Shout out once again. Yesterday, I noticed Dan Miller was on with E&E. Shout out to Dan Miller, a true professional out
Dan.
here in the
Shout
world.
out Dan.
You know,
supporter.
He handles his business on the news, covering sports. But you know who doesn't handle themselves very well?
Talk to me.
The Sacramento reporter. Always remember, watch it back.
What? Is he in the studio?
He is in the studio.
Like
Bro,
reporter in training and like on my journey. This is crazy.
Yeah, you can't be on camera like this, dog. Like
What?
get off Insta, dog. Like
I think
wherever
that's
you-
Riri too, actually.
Yeah.
It's Rihanna.
Yeah, I think that's Rihanna.
I'm not sweating the taste. I'm not sweating the taste at all.
A little
But
island flavor.
yeah, bro, you can't be doing this on the job though, bro. It's funny. I used to work at Channel 7. I just think to all the times they actually filmed in the work location, like in the studio that we
That's
in.
crazy,
Man, you
dog.
can't be having this on the computer screen, bro. Like, do it on your phone. Just be a normal human. Do it on your phone, dog.
That's
Like,
crazy. But as the way that is, it seems like it's probably just out and open anyway, even if it is on his phone. Look at this.
Maybe
this is
that's
so
his lifestyle.
reckless.
Who knows?
My man,
Bro.
he even got the reporter pose. It's like,
Listen, dog, don't show up horny to work, bro. Like, if you gotta handle that. If you gotta go to the bathroom on break and handle that, like, you can't be doing that during the broadcast, dog. Like, it's almost like he didn't know they was gonna call on him. Like, oh shit, you need the weather right now? Okay, like,
I mean, we
come
already
on,
seen
dog.
that earlier this week from one Mr. Whitlock. But anyway,
Man, fuck Jason Whitlock.
Hey,
Don't get me started on
peanut
it, bro.
butter's a favorite.
Just so you guys know, like,
Joy Taylor, now Rihanna.
Nah, but Joy Taylor get my respect.
this is part of like her launch. Like they just did something with like her brand Fenty.
Oh,
This is
I
all.
love
This
Savage
is all
Fenty.
part of that product line, and it's all like geared toward like part of their marketing. Like,
Yeah,
it's-
yeah. She always models whatever lingerie they
exactly.
coming
So, I
out
mean,
with.
it's not
Trust me,
like-
I'm a big Rihanna fan
Yeah,
over here.
so
Nah,
he's, you know-
I'm glued, but
He maybe he's just like an avid reader of the news. you know?
no, okay.
No,
Keep making
okay,
excuses.
Chase.
Keep
Sorry.
making excuses for him. That's Chase GPT over there coming up with excuses. Oh man,
I feel you, Chase. Though you trying to cover up from him, no doubt.
Chase
I'm a
got two
fan.
computers
My
over
man,
there.
horny
Oh,
at work.
yeah, Chase, you got two computers.
He might be horny at work too.
Look at that. He got the on the back. He got four.
Yeah, I got my AirPod in. I was like, yo, I'm over here. I'm doing
Listen to
triple
the
work over
sensual
here.
sounds of Savage
Perfect,
50.
dog.
Yeah.
I forgot he had his other computer over there too.
Yeah, I know. The clips are already done. Clips are already done for the show. I'm
You
like
gotta go
that,
handle
you know?
that, man. You horny at work, you gotta go handle that, dog.
My man got 3 screens over there.
You're
Don't know
right.
what to do.
I got 3 screens.
Oh my god.
I got 4 eyes, so I could take one more screen, you know?
Yeah, right.
Oh my god.
I got tears now.
You nasty.
And finally,
nasty.
I will end what's trending with this. You guys know of John Wick, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, let me introduce you guys to one Mr. Tyrone Wick.
Oh!
Get him, Tyrone. Get him.
No way, dog.
Clack, clack, clack,
No
clack.
way.
What? He got it, dog. He's still losing.
My man
Get
shooting
it?
sideways.
Oh my god.
Hey,
dog.
my man, he winning though.
Shout out David Buster's.
I ain't seen him put no quarters in the machine yet. He winning, dog. Like, that's wild, dog.
Dog, that is hilarious.
My man thought he was in the movie for real, like doing diving poses and shit. That's crazy.
Gotta make sure they can't see you, man. Make sure they can't see you.
Also, common misconception with black people: we do not hold the gun sideways. Okay, Dan. Can we leave that alone, man?
You gotta be careful. When you hold the gun sideways, like the casing pops
Yeah,
out,
it'll
and
slide
you
back
can
like-
get burnt
No,
by like
absolutely.
someone near you if you're CSI, bro. They,
Yeah,
someone,
right. CSI.
Love it,
No,
dog.
that's real, man.
Chase
Oh my god.
GPT, dog.
That's real. Shout out. But that's it for what's trending. Let's hop into some mailbag while we got some time.
Hey,
when
applause.
he's in the mass chair over in the on the crew couch, man, he's like Cavassier Chase, but in there Chase GPT.
well,
man.
ChatGPT is free, but Cavassier's on the top shelf. Not everybody can afford that.
Hey,
I love this dog.
You
He
know,
chased $24.99 with the 3 screens. So I'm
Chase,
just
I got
saying.
something for you tomorrow, man. I'm cooking up something for you, bro.
And you know
All right,
we
bet,
got.
bet.
Hey, and shout out to Rando Smalls, $2 super chat. That's my screensaver too. I'm not mad at you. Rihanna be serving, dog. She be serving it up.
Shout out Rando.
Dog.
Shout out Savage Finney too. They make some nice stuff, man.
Bitch. They got men stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Hey,
shout
Valentine's
Rihanna, bro.
Day's coming up, fellas.
Yeah.
Do something, do something for your lady, but also something for yourself.
Yeah.
Hey, I bought myself some stuff there
They
too.
not hip chase to adore me. Oh man, I done got a lot of good work off the adore me.
I'm on both of them.
Shout
actually.
out wifey, man. She appreciates it.
On
Shout
both
out wifey,
of them,
man. All the husbands out there adore me, man. Hook your wife up. Hook your significant other up. So.
Hey, you preaching on that one?
Yeah. Oh man.
Just
I'm
straight
in and
up,
out.
just flat out.
Dating
preaching on that
advice, sports, whatever you need, bro. I got you.
They got some deals. Not gonna lie.
No, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Hey, and you know what, man? What a show, too, overall. I'm just in here looking at the chat family, man. A lot of the OGs in here from Michael Danye, 3-on-3 Thug Boss, Terrell Lamar, Greg Allspa, John F. and Laura, Skydog, 2-Hand Hutch, I Can Just Dante, 151 Crazy Clown, Rando, Phil, Mid-May, just hey, shout out to you guys for staying tapped in with us today, man. It was epic. It was epic. And I'm going to try my best to find that footage now. I'm going to see what my coach has as well.
He ain't got it, y'all.
You did. I'll give you credit. You did send in some clippings as well too that I got for you. Some newspaper clippings. So
we can't read that.
look at Kool-Aid over here looking like Chauncey Billups.
1 year, All-State another year.
Not the newspaper.
So you guys realize a year. I came out. Joe Crawford, Malik Hairston, Drew Neitzel. Bro, it was a year. And over here, Romulus Summit Academy, you guys can see a little bit of what I did here in the state of Michigan. I was one of the top 5 student athletes in all of the state of Michigan, man.
Oh, well,
I'm
shout
telling
out.
you, man. Hey, with the grades, with the accolades, and it was dope. My parents were just on one, realistically. That was one for them.
No, shout out to the parents, man.
That was one for them. I had to make sure I shouted them out in that article and everything because they took all of that type of stuff serious. They knew that I loved basketball, but they knew that it was more important for me to put so much more ahead of basketball.
Yeah.
And grades was a big part of that, man. So shout out to parents.
You got your head on straight, man, which is part of the reason why you're here today. But listen, bro, we in the 8K era, dog. We need video. Newspaper.
Video evidence.
Newspaper clippings.
Listen, guys. VHS is where my highlights are, but we're gonna try our best to get them.
You better get that shit converted to Blu-ray or something. Like, come on, dog.
We're gonna get some stuff, man.
We might be able to do Blu-ray,
you know why?
but
Because my coach, man, he was one of those guys that would wear trench coats and now and later gaiters and buffs on the sideline.
Oh,
I want you all to see
he
this
old
stuff.
school.
Look, we
with
had
the
one
wing
game.
tips.
We won in Detroit. We had to play. It was at the Detroit YMCA. We won.
Yeah.
And we had to get police escort out.
Did you go to Michigan?
It was epic, man.
You got police at what y'all do?
Said you go to Michigan, play in the Detroit YMCA?
Oh. Hey, it was. Hey, listen, man, I got some stories. When I get some of the footage, I'll definitely break it down with you guys. But hey, shout out to you guys for tapping in with Wake Up Woodward. If you haven't gotten the opportunity to go in there and smash that like button,
please run it up for us. We
love
working
you.
hard.
We miss you, brother. And we can't wait to have you
dog.
back. 1 week just about down. We got one more week, and Flannel Sam will be back here. Definitely miss him, man.
Right, Flannel's okay, y'all. I've seen the Flannel questions too. He's okay, y'all.
He's good.
He's on vacation, y'all. He just take a little time off.
Hey, listen, we've gone. Some of us has gone like 2, 3, 4 years, man, and just kind of just put our head down and just work. Every now and then we might get a little like a day or two, but this matters to us, and part of it is because when we're away, we go through that withdrawal. Like just the other day, we were talking about, man, dog, when I'm not with the crew, I'm just like, what can I be doing to try and be contributing still?
Yeah.
And that's what this means to all of us. So shout out to you, our brother Flannel, Matthew Broder, that dude Justin, Summertime, High Def Steph, who should be in the building tomorrow.
He was in the chat earlier.
Yeah, he was in the chat
today. Yeah, we're gonna continue to expand that WUW Crew family as well, but this elite booth. Shout out to you, Chase. You continue to just improve, and I know we got a lot more on the horizon with you as well. But Chase, Cavassier Chase GPT, Sound Booth. What up, though, brother?
Hey, what up, though, guys? Thanks for tapping in. Make sure you stay tuned in the rest of the day. Big D, Ermanni and Edwards. We got heavyweights kicking it off to end the day. So you guys know where to be. You guys know where to stay tapped in. There's not another network doing it in Detroit better than Woodward Sports. Shout out my dad if you're listening. Love you. Shout out the guys at Seymour Ford. Everyone else in the chat. It's great hanging out and talking with you guys all the time. Can't wait to hang out with you guys some more later on the other shows. Tomorrow, some more again for Wake Up Woodward. I look forward to seeing you guys. So have a good one, man.
Lamar, I see you, bro.
Keep the win streak rolling, Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what up, though? JB Smooth, Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth. Another victory show. Got the basketball. That's so cool. Hey, just tell people who cooked that up, JB.
Oh, I think I did. I did that.
Go,
right?
go. What up, though, man? That's our MVP, JB Smooth.
Hey, keep the winning streak rolling. I mean, Pistons, you don't got to do that to my Warriors tonight, but it's okay. It's all right if you ain't got to do that. But shout out to everyone in the chat as well, too. Like I said, I love all these wrestler names coming up that they just keep popping up, populating in here. Shout out to everyone in the studio right now. Once again, KG, we got to get on this top 5, our Mount Rushmore for our next episode of Woodward Ringside, man. We got to do this.
We'll throw that in. I got that.
Michael Danye, y'all can get Kool-Aid's game tapes at Blockbuster Video.
Oh, not even, bro. Not even. My man came with newspaper clippings, dog. Like, anyway, you know this my guy, man. Kool-Aid, dog. You know you my guy.
We're gonna get microfilm from the library. We're gonna get that microfilm from the library.
That's so old school, Chase. God.
Yeah, maybe it is in Romulus Library because we made history out that mug.
Oh God, you was wearing Converses too, weren't you?
One day I'm gonna have some of my teammates, my coach. They're gonna be over there. We're gonna have a good time, bro.
Yeah. I need to see it at this point.
We're gonna have a fun.
You've been bragging, man. I need to see it, bro.
Hey, but you know what, KG? It's been awesome to have you, not just on the desk, but part of the show, part of the network.
Yeah.
Again, great job. You're definitely proving that you're next up, bro.
I'm trying, dog. I really am, man. But no, I appreciate the support, of course, man. Kool-Aid, my guy, man. You looked out for me on the network, outside of the network, bro. You know I got mad love for you. Chase, my dog. You already know how I feel about you. You my dog. Jake Bizzle, one half of the tag team champions. Y'all know what it is, man. Me and JB, we got that good content coming to you. But shout out to everybody in the chat supporting us today all week, man. I'll be here next week too. Prayers to Sam Flannel. Hope everything is cool with him. And let's keep this shit rolling, man. Go Pistons.
Go Pistons. All-star that man K Cunningham. They won 5 in a row. They've held 3 of 5 opponents under 100 points during that stretch. I got to get that over the social so we can make sure that people know we're doing it the way that Detroit always does things. Defense.
Yeah.
Defense, man. Hard work. Grit. Hey, it's your boy Brendan, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Again, happy birthday, Charles. We'll reach out to you, man. Hey, all love, people. Have a great day. Wake up.